On Fridays, we check in with our culture critic. He is the culture blaster. He writes his piece for the Marina Times, the coastal commuter. You can find him back in the old days, pre-COVID, from his office at a coffee shop on Polk Street in the city. And we have him here with thank you, the production element. I wanted an intro for Michael Snyder. Hi, Michael Snyder. Welcome.
Oh. Hey. Hi, guys.
Hey.
As Brett said earlier, some movie theaters are reopening this weekend in the Bay Area, and health and safety measures are in place. It's promising and all. But, I'm skeptical. I'm not sure I'd want to go see the new Mutants at a theater and leave with a mutant of my own that I kind of inadvertently inhale.
That's a good point. The other thing I was thinking is, do I really want to sit for 2 hours in a theater worried about COVID-19 while wearing a mask and trying to enjoy a movie? I don't know if I'm there yet.
Yeah.
No, it's very, yeah.
When you have to walk into a theater and you're sort of checking everybody out and sizing them up for COVID-19, and then you're already, not wanting to sit too close to people or whatever it is. Now you have to really worry. I don't know. But I hope theater owners stay open, and it's a great part of the American experience. We love going to the movies. It used to be like a great date night, but we haven't gone since COVID. Now.
Come on, Mark. When somebody's coughing in the theater next to me in a normal situation, I'm like, oh, get out of here. Now it's going to be, I'm getting out of here.
Well, I don't wear a mask for the same reason I don't wear underwear.
Gotta breathe.
Things gotta breathe.
Right. Okay. Well, all right. What are we breathing into this week? What do you have, Michael Snyder?
Okay, let's start off with Enola Holmes. It's one of the more entertaining and effervescent adventure comedies I've seen in a while, and it stars the really appealing young British actress Millie Bobby Brown. I know she's British. It sounds like she's from the Deep South with a name like that, but she was the breakout performer on the Netflix fantasy series Stranger Things. She's the psychically powered heroine 11 if you watched it. And now she's 16, just 16, and she's playing the title character in Enola Holmes, which is currently available on Netflix, and truly a star-making turn. It's exuberant and smart and family-friendly, an action movie about the master detective Sherlock Holmes's little sister Enola, who's determined to follow in her brother's footsteps. And I mean, Brown has really good support here from Henry Cavill, the guy that played Superman and Man of Steel and Justice League. He's Sherlock. Sam Claflin from Peaky Blinders is the stuffy older brother, Mycroft Holmes. And the prodigious Helena Bonham Carter, most recently in The Crown, but also from The King's Speech and scads of other films. She plays the free-spirited Eudora Holmes, widowed matriarch of the family, who goes missing, inspiring Enola to go out in search of her. And also, Enola doesn't want to be sent off to boarding school where she's going to be dealing with a strict headmistress. She goes out and finds another mystery in the form of an aristocratic teenage boy being pursued by an assassin. As Sherlock would say, the game is afoot. I have to tell you, this is a young woman, but she goes toe-to-toe with charismatic performers. She basically carries the movie, and it's based on the first of 6 novels in author Nancy Springer's series, The Enola Holmes Mysteries, which is about an original character inspired by Arthur Conan Doyle's immortal Holmes. And this could be the start of a franchise based on the books. And if the quality and the charm here is any indication, they should greenlight a sequel immediately. And you don't have to be a Holmes to deduce that Millie Bobby Brown's future is really, really bright.
Where can we see this Enola Holmes?
Netflix.
Okay. I like it. She's so talented. You're right. She did the Stranger Things. I'm sorry. I know you want to move on, and I know your time is limited, but just for a second, she's so talented, Michael, and I'm just hoping as she grows up, I mean, she was very young when she was doing Stranger Things. Now, as you say, she's 16. Is that what you said? And I'm worried that she grows up and becomes sort of Kardashian-esque. She just gets ruined by Hollywood. I hope she maintains the purity and the high art that she's maintaining now.
Well, she's whimsical. If you see her in interviews, she's whimsical and she's really sly and she's very self-possessed and she's not at all like obnoxiously precocious. She knows who she is. I have great hopes for her. And I think about other young adult properties that were adapted to films and featured young actors at the center, and they can't hold a candle to her. She's really the real deal.
Very cool.
Anyway,
moving on.
Misbehavior is a light and really lively British movie based on the real and impactful incident in 1970 when a group of proto-feminists disrupted the Miss World pageant in London, and they made headlines across the globe, and they helped to galvanize the women's movement in Great Britain and elsewhere. There's a message here of female equality and empowerment. By the way, Enola Holmes has a little bit of that too, and all of that remains relevant today. I mean, we're getting there, but there's still a long way to go. In any case, this is a lot of fun, and again, an ace cast headed up by Keira Knightley as a young mother studying for a university degree in history, and Jessie Buckley of the recent cinematic brain twister, I'm Thinking of Ending Things, playing a very different character, a punky radical feminist who recruits Knightley's character into her local women's liberation group, and to get attention, they decide to protest the objectification implicit in the Miss World pageant, which, by the way, is run by a grade A chauvinist played by Rhys Ifans, always good, and the producer's expedient wife, who is played by none other than Keely Hawes, who is worlds away from her character in The Durrells or the politician she played in the Bodyguard series. And we also get the superb British actress Gugu Mbatha Raw as Miss Granada, who's one of the very first contestants of color at a Miss World pageant, and as Bob Hope, that's right, Bob Hope, a special guest flown in from Hollywood to give the event some star power. We get Greg Kinnear, and his Hope, he doesn't hold a candle to Dave Thomas's on SCTV, but he does the job. And all in all, this might be predictable, but it's very cheery. It's a good time at the movies, even while watching at home. The heart and the head are in the right place. Directed by Philippa Lothorpe and written by Rebecca Frayne and Gabby Chiappe. So it was made by women, featuring women, and honoring women and their struggle. And to put a spin on the old Irish spring commercial, I liked it too. And Misbehavior is available on Apple TV, Vudu, and Fandango now.
Misbehavior. Okay.
And let's wrap up with The Artist's Wife. I mean, sometimes an actor's work is so good that it elevates a script. It makes it better. And, the script could feel a little warmed over, despite the best intentions of the filmmakers. That's my perspective on The Artist's Wife. It's a kind of muted interpersonal drama featuring solid work by Bruce Dern in a kind of thankless role as an aging, crotchety, acclaimed American artist whose creativity and his mental faculties are on the decline. But the main virtue of the movie is a beautifully nuanced performance by Lena Olin as the supportive, somewhat younger and long-suffering wife who gave up a promising career as an artist to sublimate herself to her renowned husband. Olin's character, Claire, who is in fact artist Richard Smithson's second wife in the movie, is starting to have reservations about neglecting her skills as a painter, and those reservations are turning into regrets. And meanwhile, she's trying to reconnect Richard with his estranged daughter by his first wife, while he can still remember who she is and appreciate the grandson he never really got to know. So there's a little bit, it's soapy. And it's hard to see why Claire has stuck it out with this cantankerous bastard for so long. But Dern, Julia Rylance, who was Della Street on The New Perry Mason, she plays the daughter, and especially Olin, who you may remember from her breakout role in the 1988 movie adaptation of The Unbearable Lightness of Being. I mean, that can still curl your toes if you watch it. They breathe some life into this, and Olin remains a beauty whose talent is undeniable. All that together isn't enough to make The Artist's Wife a must-see, but, she's so good, it's worth watching for her.
And where can
Apple
we...
TV, Amazon.
Okay. Apple TV. We're on the Zoom thing, so you heard like a delay. Sorry about that, Michael. I was just going to ask you where you can see it.
That's okay.
Apple TV and Amazon?
Amazon, Google Play.
Yeah, this is like the old days. Must have been like when they were first inventing the telephone or something. People were talking and there was like a delay. Or
Right. Especially if you were talking to somebody around the world.
This reminds me of the old... You remember the old Louis Prima Keely Smith song, Zuma Zuma? Well, neither do I.
Enola Holmes, it sounds to me like maybe that's your pick. You like Misbehavior also. And The Artist's Wife. Not a must-see, but not a bad-see is what you end up with. You can read more from Michael Snyder. He does his column for the Marina Times. He also can be seen on YouTube. He's called the Culture Blaster on YouTube. He's also at Culture Blaster on Twitter. Michael, love visiting with you. Thank you.
You bet.
All right.